Okay, I got a lot of haters, but I got more paper. New pack alert, it's a op in the air. Bad bitch breaker, popcorn player. I got a lot of haters, but I got more paper. Got a lot of haters, but I got my cake up. Pimpin' on this bitch, she gon' pay what she wake up. We don't take pay, cause they sell we sell acres. Them niggas hate us, cause they broken, they ain't us. Let them know I got it on my own. At grandma's house, I started with a zone. Mookie taught me how to pull a hoe. Now I'm moving bows that is strong, and I can put you on. Before I was rapping, yeah, I used to be trapping. You can catch me in traffic.
Don't that rock.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. That boy Norwood is.
I was a little excited.
Hey man, but welcome back. Norwood is back. That was not supposed to be the intro, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 67 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition. I'm your co-host Reggie.
I am your overly excited co-host Norwood, and yes, I know it's a preseason game, but it's literally the smallest joys in my existence right now. Please bear with me. I love you guys.
So the Falcons are playing. I'm gonna let y'all know now. The Falcons are playing on Monday Night Football, and we're winning. We are playing the Jets.
Only though, baby.
It's preseason. We are playing the Jets, but as I told y'all before, y'all picked the Jets to be better than us. So we're gonna let y'all know that y'all wrong for that.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you right now. Once again, I understand this is not our starting lineup, but it is very, very difficult for you to tell me that the Lions are a better team than the Falcons. It's very difficult for you to tell me that the Jets are a better team than the Falcons. That's the harsh realities of existence right now. If you don't like it, I'm pretty sure you know you can go directly to hell. How did we lose 10 yards?
Holding penalty. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know on the Around the League edition of episode 67 of the Splashcast, we always talk about HBCU news around the culture, basketball news around the WNBA and NBA, as well as news around football, college, and pro, and then we round it out with our splashes of the week. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into our HBCU news around the culture really quickly. Got a couple things we're going to talk about. One is shout out to Morgan State University. Morgan State University. They are bringing their wrestling program back.
Congratulations.
Not only are they bringing their wrestling program back, when you hire somebody, you always want to make some type of splash hire, especially when you're restarting a program. Morgan State hired Olympic gold medalist. What's his name?
Olympic gold medalist.
What's his name?
Make sure we put that first on the list. The most important part is he is a black Olympic gold medalist.
Oh man, they really don't have his name on here? Well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all bear with us. We had the name up there and they took it off the post. Wrestling coach. Here we go. Kenny Monday. Golly. Kenny Monday. He is leading the return of NCAA Division I varsity level men's wrestling at historically black college and university Morgan State. So the fact that they hired they're Monday Strong. Come on, y'all. Context clues, Reggie. Monday Strong. Kenny Monday, the gold medalist, former gold or current. I guess you're always a gold medalist once you win it.
Yeah,
gold medalist.
Hey, yeah,
Olympian.
Gold medal winner.
Gold medal winning Olympian Kenny Monday will be leading the wrestling program at Morgan State University. He said, "I'm extremely grateful and honored to be named as the head wrestling coach at Morgan State University. Bringing the wrestling program back to an HBCU after 25 years is exciting for me and the entire wrestling community. Every experience in my career has prepared me for this moment, and I can't wait to get started." this, I liken this to like when Hampton brought back lacrosse or Howard brought back lacrosse. Or there's another school that brought back gymnastics. We're not just football and basketball players. We play football, basketball, track, baseball, lacrosse, wrestling, archery,
everything,
sailing.
Everything.
We do in everything very, very well. And this is just another avenue for black excellence, not only in the sports realm, but it's also another way to get more students to your school. This could be very lucrative for the school, especially in the Mid-Atlantic region where it's not just football. And it's not just football in the South, but football is the mainstay in the South. The Mid-Atlantic is going to be basketball and something else.
And there are just so many black kids who wrestle and then be like, okay, well, what do I do with this now? And if you had a pathway for it to go to an HBCU, it wouldn't be that difficult to fill out a team. Like, we all know people who we grew up with who wrestle.
Mm-hmm. Just about every linebacker or lineman, well, not linebacker anymore, you run track, but every lineman I knew wrestled.
There's a lot of,
linemen wrestle. That's how you learn to tackle, outside of actual tackling in football, but that's how you learn to protect yourself and wrap up and get people to the ground. That's how you learn to tackle people that are bigger than you.
That too. I mean, I went to a school with a very good wrestling program, so I understand the value in it. And those guys are, and they're not always necessarily the best athletes, but they're good football players.
They're gonna get you on the ground, though.
A lot of the skills transfer. You are right about that. I didn't.
Yeah. So that I look to see a boost in not only the wrestling program but the football program as well. I look to see Morgan State, and I'm gonna say here in the MEAC will probably have the least amount of missed tackles if this wrestling program takes off, because then I would send all my linebackers and linemen to go wrestle or run track. One of those.
Yeah. Until you've been to both practices.
Yeah.
When you've actually been to a wrestling practice, you appreciate football.
Boy,
practice.
I went out. I was like, well, let me try wrestling for a second. Boy, they made another player get on my back, and they said, run around the track. You got 2 miles. I said, with this dude on my back? He was like, yes. I said, I quit.
I have no. And as much as I hated football practice, let me tell you, I saw them boys at wrestling practice, and I was like, no thanks, my friend. And yeah, that's like the hierarchy. You start at the top. No, the real top, baseball practice. Those guys don't do
pause.
anything.
But running the pole, nah. Our baseball team used to run in high school. They used to run pole to pole.
Let me tell you, out of all the practices, baseball practice, then soccer practice, then basketball practice, then football.
That's about soccer practice was a beast.
Still, and then the sweaty underbelly of wrestling practice, just filth and destruction, on and on and on. Let me tell you, no interest. Like basketball practice was like, all right, as long as he say toes on the line, I'm pretty good. Now when he say toes on the line, you're like, oh my God, why am I here?
Basketball, they used to always try to make us throw up. Like you run and do suicide. You back from Thanksgiving. Throw up. I'm gonna make you throw up that turkey. Be like, man, come on, man.
Richie Carnes right out there with 4 big giant trash cans each corner of the gym, trying to get you out of the paint. But yeah, like football practice is just like, all right, well, we'll bear crawl for a little bit. It's just so many. You could do pursuit. All of that is just different. But wrestling practice, worse and dirtier.
And they be throwing you around. Don't let you be the worst one on the wrestling team.
I would not know.
You get thrown around.
That's the other part. Like football practice, you can kind of hide in certain times. It's certain things you're going to be able to hide. There's too many people out here. Wrestling practice, all right, partner up. Oh, 16 of us? That's 8. We're just going to go real fast. No thanks. No. Don't want it.
Oh,
Well,
man.
congratulations.
Congratulations to Morgan State, man. We look for big things. We'll definitely cover because if they get something national, they get go to NCAA tournament
That's
and
the
win.
other
We're definitely
part.
gonna cover it.
If you get a good wrestler or you build one good wrestler, that's all it takes to put your program on. Once you get that one guy, like as a football, you got like football program, you have to constantly put more and more of the just. You got to be Alabama. You got to put the best guys in the world up there every time.
Every time, Sade. So, with that being said, man, also we can't have an HBCU segment without talking about Monsieur Sanders, Deion Sanders. So, Deion, being Deion, one of the models.
This is a heist.
One of the models that Nick Saban has kind of established is hiring former coaches as analysts to read, and while they're there, they take notes, they learn, and they repair their reputation, and then they go on somewhere else. Right? Nick Saban has done it with just about everybody. Butch Jones comes to mind, who was smoking a cigar when they beat Tennessee literally months after he got fired. Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian,
everybody.
There's so many
you
more.
You think Zimmer's going there? I think Zimmer is just at the end of his rope. Like he had 2 eye surgeries. He got fired from the Vikings. And
the defensive coordinator for my point is Deion always finds a way for experienced Nick Saban, always finds for experienced coaches, and the way that you do it is bring them on as analysts. Prior to Nick Saban, normally analysts was saved for your grad students or the grad students that passed. They can no longer be GA assistants because they graduated. They become analysts, and then they move on up. To bring back older coaches as analysts was really part of the recipe that boosted Alabama to being the Alabama that we know and hate or love, depending on the side of you are now. So this is a page out of Nick Saban's book to me of Deion bringing an experienced coaching as an analyst, leveraging his relationships.
See, I think he did this differently. I think this is actually a play to be able to get the top tier guys. Because one thing about Zimmer is he knows that damn defense
very well.
He is a defensive guru. So how can I expose my players to a defensive mind in the NFL that's this good? And how can I get him to come here and do this?
Land.
Like, as an analyst,
they probably gave him a bunch of land out there.
No, but I'm saying, like, as an analyst, like you're not
Not
stuck
a lot of responsibility.
I have to go to every game. I have to live in Jackson, Mississippi. No, I might just be an analyst. I might come for a month. I might come for 6 weeks, help you guys get it going. And then I'm Mike Zimmer, bro. I still have a supermodel wife now. Don't forget about that part. So I ain't want to
bring it up. Mike Zimmer.
Yeah.
He retired right on after that. Guy who won and retired right on after that. You know what? I need to save my strength. Save my stamina.
I can come out here because I love football and I love you, Deion. I do you a solid. But you can't afford him. He's an NFL head coach. Your budget. He is the budget. The entire budget. And probably worth it. But can I come out here for a couple weeks and help you out? Sure. I can do you that solid. Still want to take about 4 weeks, get away. And, you can do all the stuff you want, hunting and fishing stuff you can do in Jackson, Mississippi.
Everything you want to do.
Yeah.
And when you're in Jackson, Mississippi, as much media as Deion receives, you don't really see a lot of media on the other coaches. You get to live a peaceful, quiet life, go to work, go home.
And you won't, because if you want to be a positive member of the media in Jackson, Mississippi, which anybody with the braid in their head does, then you're going to play nice with Deion.
Yeah, you ain't got no choice.
Deion probably wields more power right now than the president of that university.
Yes, and the athletic director. Yeah, well,
combined.
He's just
yes, 100%. He's the only person you can identify. If the other two people, no offense to them, walked in, you'd be like, I don't know who that man is.
But the good thing is the school's raking in the money right now. They getting donations left and right. So
yes. Hey, and Jackson doing their part, and I will say I keep watching Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson's doing his part quietly too.
Grambling gonna be a problem. Yep. Now Southern is going to be a problem because Southern has one of the top defensive lines, rated defensive lines coming back in FCS, not SWAC, not HBCU. In FCS football, they have like the number 5 defensive line coming back. They led both of their defensive linemen, Dumas being one that transferred from Prairie View. They both led the nation in tackles for losses. They were like 1 and 2, and now they're both on the same team.
I'm looking forward to. I think this is going to be a very good HBCU football
You saw that
season.
throw and catch by Ritter? I saw you.
I'm thinking in my head, I don't hate him. It's early, but I don't hate him. And I definitely like him as a backup before Mariota. Mariota, you're firing yourself.
Yeah, but anyway, I as you said, you are looking forward to HBCU. HBCU football is about to, for the people that aren't plugged in, it's about to take off. For the people that plugged in, this is HBCU football, been HBCU football for me all my life.
And congratulations, Travis Hunter. You picked the right team. Between Jackson State and Florida State, this ain't even close. You got up close and personal time with Mike Zimmer, and you know Zimmer is giving him like every piece of information, how to be a better player. And Zimmer still talks to those guys on the other end. They're going to be able to call Mike Zimmer and say, "Hey, what do you like about
What
Travis
do you think about Hunter? What do you think of not even Travis Hunter? Think about all those other DBs that they have. They just drafted. They just had 5 players drafted.
Never heard of. Yeah, the guy who you've never heard of. The Mike Zimmer's like, you know what? That guy's a good football player, too.
You realize he's like 6'2", 200 now. He's a good football player. So I look for them to have a record with if Mike Zimmer stays. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. I'll come for 6 months and then leave. I think he comes for a season then leaves, which I guess a season is 6 months. But
an analyst, I come in and I'm sticking around until the season starts. When the season starts, I'm going back home. You can't afford, no offense, but you can't afford me at that cost. I'm an NFL head coach. You can't afford me. I'm not even going to do that to you. I'm really not even going to take this analyst pay. You just got to house me, room and board.
Paying him as an analyst. I did not know that Mike Zimmer was Deion's DB coach in Dallas.
Correct.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, they had a whole conversation about how, Zimmer was getting him right and, giving him some game. And Zimmer's that guy, defensively, because wasn't he with Cincinnati first?
As a head, he was the defensive. That's how he got his head coaching. That's how he got his head coaching job with the Vikings because he turned the Bengals defense with I think that was the Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah.
Vontaze, Burfict. That was that defense, and if they weren't stupid, not saying Pac-Man's stupid, but they just made stupid plays on the field.
Out of control.
If they had any type of composure, they probably would have at least gone to the AFC Championship game because they blew it against the Steelers a couple years.
With that said, we have knocked out the HBCU segment here. We are ready for HBCU football to kick off. We are ready to
homecoming season.
You already know what it is.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as Norwood has just said, we come to the end of the HBCU segment of episode 67 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition. We will now transition to basketball. Y'all stay tuned. We will be right back. Y'all stay tuned.
Back.
Woo! I ain't gonna lie to you. I was waiting. My bad. I was waiting on Offset to kind of respond to all of this stuff, to everything that was going on between Migos, Unk and Few, how they kind of broke up, and at least release some music. And he came with it. He came with it.
I feel like I like this song, but the Migos, it's a trio. And when you don't have the whole trio together, individually they're good, but collectively they're unstoppable.
Yeah. Yeah. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our basketball segment of episode 67 of the Around the League edition. Man, the Falcons look good over here. Ritter looks good against these guys. All the Jets about to get
ball, right on down the court. Let me tell you that much.
I'm telling you, all these Jets.
Marcus Mariota, boy, you are firing yourself, son.
And all
firing yourself.
All these Jets are about to be fired too, because they're all about to get cut.
Yeah.
But
you can't stop the Atlanta Falcons and Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, it's bad. But
find the dough.
Ladies and gentlemen, with our basketball segment, we know we cover basketball news around the WNBA and around the NBA. Nothing has really. It is the WNBA playoffs. A lot going on, but as we covered in Saturday Morning Live and last week, the real news is, of course, Brittany Griner, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and Liz Cambage, all dealing with their information. So if you want to listen, make sure you go back and listen to last week's episode where we discuss everything, including Liz Cambage, Skylar Diggins too, as well. She's taking a leave of absence, so T's and P's to her.
Tragic end of a season, boy. Let me tell you, it was already bad enough, and then just team just kind of fell apart at the end. Kind of like the Falcons right now with every holding penalty in the world.
Every holding penalty. Jalen Mayfield getting killed. Let me ask you a question. If you bet, right, everybody makes bets. The two favorites to win the championship this year were who? The Phoenix Mercury. There's three. The Phoenix Mercury, Los Angeles Sparks, Las Vegas Aces. If you bet on the Sparks or the Mercury, and then all that happened, you know how mad you got to be? You know how sick you got to be that all that happened?
And y'all can both be mad with who? Liz Cambage.
Well, Brittany Griner in Phoenix. That wasn't Liz.
No, but the Sparks and Vegas, yes.
Yeah.
You're one of the best players in the WNBA. You left this team at before the season started at least.
Yeah.
But then you go to LA and people there's a high expectation for you. You're one of the biggest names in the sport, and to then have to go there and have another problem. But we've covered this already. If the problem follows you, then the problem might be who? You.
Because we know it ain't Jesus. So
Splashcast Jesus has made it here for 2 episodes in a row. Shout out to Splashcast Jesus. He is melanated.
But the reason we brought up Brittany Griner, and we wanted to bring this up, you know that she pled guilty. They sentenced her to 9 years. So now the diplomatic discussions begin. One person that I did not expect to be part of these diplomatic discussions was your man, Dennis Rodman.
Why not?
He's gotten permission to go to Russia to help Brittany Griner. I'm trying to go this week.
It's not an ascot. What is that he has on?
A hoodie. This was him during the 75th anniversary. That's his jacket that he had on over his hoodie.
Oh, you're right. He put his jacket on the floor and everything. I love Dennis Rodman, man. The GOAT. If he pulls this off,
Dennis Rodman has probably had a life that nobody could imagine.
He couldn't imagine. I mean,
ain't no way you imagine that he would go be friends with a dictator, and then he would go to solve diplomatic discussions in Russia. There's no way that you could see that.
He's an international diplomat,
phenomenon,
NBA champion, human phenomenon, party extraordinaire. I'm for it, and I think he can do it.
What I'm trying to figure, somebody said he unlocked the DLC mission, the extra mission on the side of
downloadable content.
But Dennis Rodman, if you've seen him in any, kicking another field goal, if you've seen him in any interviews or whatever, he has a very unique, distinct delivery, right? He has a very distinct cadence to his voice, everything. And I'm just trying to imagine him going and speaking with Russian public officials. Like, what do you think Dennis Rodman is going to wear to those meetings?
He's going to wear Dennis Rodman attire. Don't expect him to be anybody else than himself.
Which is definitely very good. He's going to be himself.
Yeah, if you get in there acting weird, it's just going to make it worse. Just be yourself, bro. We expect you to be weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but I will say, if there's anybody that the world is willing to have a conversation with, it's Dennis Rodman. The world is willing to talk to Dennis Rodman, no matter what it is.
I'm going to be... The world, I'm not sure about. But there is a unique set of unconventional characters who absolutely love Dennis Rodman. And I think this is his skill set. This is where he belongs.
As a diplomat.
That term I was using relatively facetiously, but it does work for what he does.
Gotta say, I mean, he's technically a diplomat. I mean, he's a international negotiator.
It makes you uncomfortable to say, but
not for nothing, the demographic of America, he's like everything in one. He's black. He is sexually fluid. He cross dresses. He's transgender. He loves everybody and hates everybody at the same time. He's all for free will. He's all for the rights of the people. Like, he is all encompassing. He identifies with the goths.
American success story, Dennis Rodman.
Bet you never thought you'd see that. When you talk about American success story, you didn't think that this would be the cover, did you?
In the words of my grandma Ernestine, bet you didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, man. So, I mean, the world loves Dennis Rodman, man. The NBA loves Dennis Rodman. They always bring him back. He's always around. When it comes to somebody that the world, or the NBA at least, doesn't like, it's got to be Colin Sexton.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Kyrie Irving.
Same boat. Well, no, Kyrie got a team, apparently. But Colin Sexton is still not signed. Still not signed. He was one of the better young point guards in the league.
This is such a weird situation because it's so quiet.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, what are they going to do with Colin Sexton? Or, oh, the teams are in a bidding frenzy for Colin Sexton. Cleveland gets a lot of slow play on all of their teams. I think that people have so little faith in their teams that they'll be like, I'll wait and see and wait for this to self-destruct. And when this blows up, I'll come and pick it over. Like the Carolina Panthers did with Baker Mayfield. We'll give you a 5th-round draft pick next year. The same situation with Kyrie in the first place. They were like, no, we'll wait until we can get a heist in that deal. I've seen Cleveland negotiate from a place of weakness multiple times, and it seems to be the playbook against them on all fronts right now. It's just wait them out.
The thing I don't understand is, well, one, I knew that something was wrong in Cleveland when they drafted the dude from Vanderbilt. What's the starting point guard?
Well, at that point, I don't think that was the issue. I think that he was just best available, and Sexton was the wrong pick initially, but you can't skip.
Who would have been the right pick?
Let's go back and look at the Colin Sexton draft. I'm going to tell you he's not the guy. He
was drafted at 8, right? So you had Kevin Knox at 9, Mikal Bridges at 10.
Okay, here it is right here. 2018 redraft.
Luka Trey.
Oh yeah, he's dropping like fire.
SGA probably. I don't know if you take Mikal Bridges. Oh, Michael Porter Jr., Robert Williams, Jalen Brunson. Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that because he was drafted at 8. I'm not taking the Knicks. First of all, the Knicks, y'all crazy as hell for taking Kevin Knox at number 9.
Okay, well, let's see why this doesn't work. Aiden ain't one, but you drafted him before Sexton. Luca is number one. Jaren Jackson Jr., Trey Young,
Mo Bamba.
SGA.
No, he
Michael
was drafted
Porter
at 8.
Jr.
So are you trying to say people that are drafted after him should be drafted after? What are you saying? He was drafted at 8. All those people you named, except for Michael Porter Jr., SGA, were drafted ahead of him.
Oh, this was the Omari Spellman draft. This is the reason I try to forget this one all the time.
Yeah, I mean, who else? Mitchell Robinson.
You can't say Wagner. Maybe. I mean, him and Anthony Simons are gonna have an interesting next season. I guess there's not really that many people.
Yeah, that's what I said. You said Anthony Simons.
Yeah.
Anthony Simons was drafted what, 24? Yeah. I mean,
yeah. But I'm saying like next year will be an interesting year to see them as two players from the same draft.
I'm not killing Cleveland for taking Colin Sexton over Anthony Simons when the Pacers took Aaron Holiday and the Bulls took Chandler Hutchinson and the Jazz took Grayson Allen and the Hawks took Kevin Huerter because and San Antonio took Lonnie Walker. Milwaukee took Dante DiVincenzo. Come on, man. Like you can't.
Terrible.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible. You crazy if it's terrible.
Okay, it's top heavy.
What's top to you? Top 10? Can't be. Mikal Bridges, SGA is 11. Miles Bridges is 12. Michael Porter Jr. is 14. Troy Brown is 15.
I'm not interested.
Kevin Huerter. Josh Okogie.
I'm not interested in Josh Okogie.
Anthony Simons. Robert Williams III. You know, that's there. Jalen Brunson. Devontae Graham. Gary Trent Jr., Mitchell Robinson. You got a lot of players that were here. Bruce Brown. Now, that was somebody that you didn't see that. Hamidou Diallo. Like, this wasn't a bad draft. Keita Bates drop ain't that good. It wasn't a bad draft. It wasn't bad. It's not worse than the Anthony Bennett draft. Sneaky, what's up?
Of course not. You went to the worst thing that anybody could have ever looked at in life.
So where do you think Colin Sexton ends up next year?
I really
Sneaky agrees with you. He said the draft was mid.
I mean, if he wants to come to Atlanta being a backup as a team who doesn't ever believe in having a backup, that would be great.
They said his perfect fit would be to go to the Dallas. You replace Jalen Brunson.
No.
Why?
He doesn't have the demeanor. Colin Sexton is a guy who he's not beloved. He's not loved in that locker room. Cuban is not allowing you to come to Dallas and come over there and play with Luka's locker room. You get that out of your mind.
What? Why did they say he wasn't loved? Like I knew that Cleveland did not like him, but they said he wasn't loved for some reason. I don't know why.
I think he has a kind of combative attitude. I mean, he's.
You know what? New York. You know what? New York. You need to go get him. This is somebody with he would fit well. His attitude would fit well in New York. I could see him like what's the old dude? There was Greg Anthony, the one before that, the old bald head.
The question is, he's kind of like, he seems to have a little bit of the rust. Everybody's not going to go for that, and especially in New York. Jalen Brunson is a great compliment because he's going to stay out of RJ Barrett's way. He's never going to try to outshine RJ. And I feel like Colin Sexton could go in there and he could disrupt that hierarchy.
Basically, it said the Cavaliers teammates didn't like Colin Sexton. It was the team. It was the locker room that didn't like him. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why.
They say he had an off-putting personality. You know, I don't want to put that on a player because I don't know anything about this dude. Don't know him from a can of paint. But there have been multiple people who have said, yes, the team doesn't like him. And it's unfortunate when the report comes out and says the team doesn't like you and then they're more successful than they've been since LeBron left when you're gone. That's the reason you have this weird silence. I saw this on the internet today, and I hadn't thought about this forever, considering this is a team that's going to be right near where the Hawks are going to be at. This is a team that's in our they're going to be aiming at us. We have to keep them off our back. And I was like, damn, you're right. Colin Sexton has been basically radio silent about this.
He's been playing in pro-ams, but he has not been answering any questions. He's, this is him talking right now, talking about not being signed. Some folks have said the Lakers would be a place because LeBron ain't going to let you come in there and just go crazy.
I don't think that's the answer. I would probably say maybe, hey, San Antonio.
Purgatory? That's purgatory right now.
I agree. And once again, I know you're going to hate me for saying this. No, I guess you already got one guy. I was going to say send him to the Magic, but nah, they already have.
Another guard? You just said you wanted to get rid of the guards over there.
Yes, but I'm saying I think that I was looking for a more attacking guard, but I forgot that they had Anthony down there already.
Mm-hmm. What's the other one that came from Gonzaga? Now you could do that.
Suggs is the guy who I would probably be quicker to move on. I don't know why it is, but I just don't love his game.
I could see the Mavs, the Lakers.
Mavs not touching him. Lakers not touching him either. You're not going to have the young guy. This is a team of old people. You have a young problematic guy show up with a bunch of old people.
New York, I'm telling you, New York would be the best place for him. His attitude, they would. That's like signing Latrell Sprewell. Like they would sign Colin Sexton. His attitude would mesh well with New York. Talking shit, all that. He's like really demonstrative when he plays defense. He enjoys playing defense. He enjoys frustrating you, getting up under your skin. That's a Detroit type place, or Indiana. But Indiana already got that. Detroit, Indiana, or New York. They got too many guards in Indiana.
I would
Detroit
like him in
Detroit would be nice.
Detroit would, yeah. And then you would have a guy to be able to kind of keep Cade occupied. So you have a guy because Cade don't have that what he has.
The dog.
You don't have the yes. Cade is just a more peaceful, passive guy. You need a guy. That's the reason we got DeJounte. You need a menace. You need somebody who like, bro, y'all need to get him.
I was listening to.
You are right. There are teams that could.
You need a dog. I mean, the Hawks need a dog, but I think we've signed.
We need a backup point guard. That's what we need.
We got Aaron Holiday. Again, we obviously are not gonna. We signed Aaron Holiday. We're not gonna sign him. He's Aaron Holiday. He is our backup point guard.
Every year the Hawks do that shit. Never get a real legitimate backup point.
Ain't no way the Hawks gonna sign Colin Sexton. Can you imagine Trae Young, DeJounte Murray with the energy that DeJounte Murray been on, and Colin Sexton? Capella would just have to fight.
Hey, Solomon Hill, come on back, dog. You don't even have to dress out. Just put the sweatsuit on. Stay ready.
They gonna send him to Utah. Ain't nothing to do out there, but just go to Utah and play.
Him and Utah would be
like the Jailblazers from back in the day.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, or let me bring this up. This was something that.
Wait, hold on. I think I might have an idea here. How do you feel about him to the Timberwolves?
So that's where. Well, that was part of my question. But yes, the Timberwolves. He could break Cat though. He could Jimmy Butler Cat all over again. And French Stifle Tower. Both of them not really the most mentally tough people.
Sexton's not going to be happy in Atlanta because he's going to come off the bench.
Well, first off, wherever he goes, he's probably going to come off the bench.
Clippers? What the Clippers got?
Reggie Jackson. They've already resigned. They've already resigned Reggie Jackson, I believe.
You want Reggie Jackson or you want Colin Sexton?
Colin Sexton.
You didn't ask a question?
Yeah, he's had one good year, right?
Man, I will take Colin Sexton 100 times before I take Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson had 100 years to be 100 years good, and he never made it.
I'm not going to agree or disagree on that, but you know what's sad about this and this whole situation with Colin Sexton, and then we'll end it here, is I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about it was Gilbert Arenas' podcast, and they were talking about how you can go to a situation and you might be like really, really, really good. And you can go to a situation that is not good for you and it ruins your career. Right?
Correct.
So like and the thing about the NBA basketball, he was saying, you know, these pro-ams that they playing in, some of these programs, these dudes could legit be in the league or were in the league, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason, or they went to the wrong situation. They were like, think about it. If Melo had gone to Detroit, he'd have a championship. And Darko, if he had gone to Denver, wouldn't have had the expectations that he had in Detroit. Their careers could have been different.
Correct. Yeah. I don't believe that because they cut Sharif that Sharif is not an NBA player. I think that Sharif Cooper is an NBA player. I think he's a backup point guard in the
small,
NBA.
Man. He's small.
I agree, but I think that he can facilitate. I think that he tries hard on defense. I think that there are other people who are in the NBA who are not better than Sharif Cooper. I do not think that he's the worst player in the NBA. Not a chance.
Sneaky said they should go to the Houston Rockets. He'd be a good backup point guard at Houston. That's where I disagree with you. There's no. First of all, Colin Sexton, Kevin Porter Jr.
There.
That's a lot going on, and Jalen Green, not Jalen Green, Jalen.
Yeah, it is Jalen Green.
Jalen Green. That's a lot of personality.
Yeah, and none of those guys are really looking to
or mature enough. You need somebody. That's why I said the Lakers, because the team is mature, more mature than the team he's on now.
What do you think that Colin Sexton and Russ do together?
Fight. Fight.
That is not what you want on a team.
Hey, it worked for the Celtics. They had a whole boxing ring. Rondo and Ray Allen ain't like each other. They used to go at it.
It's a different dynamic.
How?
The other two guys, they ain't like Ray either. They let Rondo just put the pause on and let him know that. That's it. But this is a situation. Nah, Russ and Colin, that if you're going to be off-putting to the Cavs and they're a young team, you get in there with the Lakers on America's stage with LeBron.
Well, that's what I'm saying. LeBron's not going to let you be wild crazy. And you're probably going to have to sign, if you're smart, you sign to a decent contract. But then, hindsight, Victor Oladipo turned down, and Dennis Schroeder turned down that money, and they'll never see that money again.
Ooh, that is where he needs to go. Miami. Perfect fit.
Yeah, him and Jimmy would probably be really, really good.
He'd be a good Heat player. That is it. That is where he belongs. If you could get rid of Kyle.
I'm about to say, how you gonna get rid of Kyle Lowry though? Kyle Lowry ain't. I'm opting into $37 million every time.
Are they over the cap?
Yes. Well,
No. Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland.
Cleveland should be able to take a max. Who's their max?
Lauri Markkanen is who they signed to a big contract.
Not that big.
He's $100 million, I believe.
Okay, who else?
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen's a $20 million guy.
He's $100 million.
No,
that's 5 years.
$80 million. Or maybe he is 100. I think he's 100. 5 years, 100. Yeah, 500. Yeah, $20 million a year. Yeah, he fits. And Kyle Lowry will give you good But
why would
I don't know how much.
Why would you trade Kyle Lowry to Cleveland? Why would Cleveland take Kyle Lowry?
Expiring contract. And you get a guy who they played good enough last year.
What would you give up for Kyle Lowry if you're Cleveland?
I want him straight up.
What do you mean straight up? Colin Sexton is not on Cleveland's team. They did not opt in on his contract.
He's a restricted. You can do a sign and trade. He's a restricted free agent. He's not unrestricted free agent. Somebody would have got him.
You think so?
I'm 100% sure he's he's a restricted free agent.
Yeah,
it's 2018. Those guys. That's the DeAndre.
Oh, they offered him $7.2 million.
I would pay that.
You would pay $7 million. You think Colin Sexton would take $7 million? Obviously, he didn't, because he didn't take it.
If he was willing to take it, I will pay it. I would pay it quickly. I would pay it aggressively.
Dude, obviously, he's not willing to take it. He's not on the team.
Yeah, I agree. But what I'm saying is, if I could get him at that price, I'd take him. I'd take him at $10 million, to be honest. Maybe like 12.
Well, and that's what makes
We
this
don't
whole
have the money for
situation
that.
even more interesting is the qualifying offer was only $7.2 million.
Yeah,
so
he's not
if
taking
if
a
I could
qualifying
qualify
offer.
$10 million, I mean, so
No, so this what
do you think he has
any team
more
right now
offers?
can sign an offer sheet. It's the same thing that happened with John Collins. But nobody's. That is the bad part about it is nobody's put an offer sheet on him.
That's what I'm saying.
And
you
I
saying
mean,
you
the
get
same
him for
thing happened with John Collins. They didn't put the offer sheet in on him, but the team was connected to him. The team is looking to let him go. They just want something in exchange. They just don't want you don't want to lose your number one draft pick for nothing. So that's the reason that you match whatever offer, or if there's available signing trade, you move him.
Let's look at the cash salary cap real quick.
I
Kevin
mean,
Love makes all that money. Kevin Love makes $28 million. He makes
Jeez, I
$28 million.
forgot about K Love.
Karis
LeVert
LeVert makes 19. Laurie Marketing makes 16. That's where your money is. Kevin Love.
The 16 and 19 are not really that bad.
Kevin Love. Now they do have. Yeah, Kevin Love's 28. Jared Allen's 20. Karis LeVert is 19. Laurie Marketing is 16. And then everybody else is $8 million or below.
But they're under the cap too.
Yes.
They have money to spend. Yeah,
I'm not spending that on Kyle Lowry.
Huh?
I'm not spending that on Kyle Lowry. And
what are you going to spend it? What can you spend it on to make your team better?
You think Kyle Lowry makes their team better?
As a backup point guard, absolutely.
You gonna pay? So that means you got $65 million coming off your bench between two players.
Yeah, but you also have the flexibility of an expiring contract in the future too. That's the reason that it works. You're paying Kyle Lowry for this season, but I don't know if there's a way to get a guy who's better than Kyle Lowry to the Cavs. You're not getting a free agent. Let's be very real about that. Now that reduces you to trades. What can you trade Colin Sexton for that's better than Kyle Lowry? That's the $1 million question.
First off, Kyle Lowry is not an expiring contract. He is signed through 2024.
No can do. I knew he was.
When you said it, I was like, "There's no way he just signed that deal." He makes $26 million last year. He makes $28 million this year. He makes $29 million next year. Then he's an unrestricted free agent in 2024.
And let me tell you, the guy who said that this was a bad idea from day one was Christopher Paul Norwood the first. You may know him as the Pod God. I told y'all, Kyle Lowry is one of the worst overpays, worst contract in NBA currently, and I think he may be the absolute worst. I think that Russ is a better player than Kyle Lowry.
Think so?
You got to pick one to put on your team, who you want? At least Russ gonna play every game.
That boy, that's Nims.
Lord Jesus,
damn, sneaky. That contract just as chubby
as Kyle Lowry. Jesus in the morning. That was a quick scope from downtown, my friend. Wow. Well, I feel like I'm watching Braves highlights. That was a home run.
Now, I would, if I'm no, I can't make that trade. There's nobody. Miami's stuck. First off,
who said that last year? Who was like, "Hey, if you look at this team, it doesn't make a ton of sense."
They are stuck.
Butler ain't a spring chicken. What do you have at power forward now that PJ Tucker's gone? You clearly don't really believe in Tyler Hero because you won't start him. You clearly don't believe in Duncan Robinson because he fell out of the rotation, and you got Fat Lowry.
You're a terrible person for coming up with Fat Lowry. Shut up. Not coming up with, just keep saying it. But yeah, It's tight. It's tight. It's tight on Colin
outside of-
Sexton. It's tight on Miami. That Kyle Lowry trade is no longer to be discussed because he signed through 2024.
Yeah, that's dead and very dead. So, what do you really like about Miami outside of Jimmy Butler's demeanor?
Max Strus started from
That's
the
what
bottom.
you
Now
like?
he here. Started from the bottom. Now we here. Bam.
finish
I mean, I
my-
like Bam. I like Bam's versatility. I think Bam needs a center.
But how good is Bam?
Very good.
Bam,
He
yep.
needs a center.
Yeah.
Miami should have went after Mo Bamba. That's who Miami should have gone after. They didn't do it. The Lakers didn't do it. Everybody needed a center because everybody has these stretch fours that you playing as fives, and we could tell you as Hawks fans that really don't work for every game.
Nope.
Not for an 82
And
game
let me
season.
tell you, when you have, they don't necessarily need a center. They just need another big person who's good. They don't have to play traditional 5-4. That's the reason I always said get Julius. Julius can guard a lot of fours and he can guard some fives. Between him and Bam, they can get the job done.
Well,
pretty
that's
easy.
dead because I'm letting you know right now, the mayor of New York would fire the president and GM if they go trade Julius for Kyle Lowry. That ain't gonna happen.
Oh yeah, no, that's not happening. No. But that's where I said Julius should have been trying to focus on in the first place was to go to Miami. But I don't know
That's
what
a
this
horrible
is.
contract. Colin Sexton, it's tight on you, bro. It's tight on you. It's tight on Miami. It's tight on. It's
Not
tight on a lot of
him.
stuff going
They're
on.
gonna match his offer. He'll have to stick it out through this season, and then somebody will pay him.
Yeah.
Somebody will want him.
Yeah. And then, of course, we're going to end the segment on this because I never thought I'd see the day for this here. Steven Adams is shooting fadeaways. He's shooting spot up threes. He always talks about he hates not being able to shoot. And he's only 29. And he's
just
hitting
look
these
old in the
shots.
face.
I mean, he's looked old his entire life.
Yeah. Ever since he got them tattoos, he got old.
No. Oh, Kev said Dallas maybe. I didn't see that one. Dallas maybe. Dallas is not taking on that contract. Nobody's taking on Colin Sexton. I said Dallas earlier, and Norwood said no, Kev, for Colin Sexton going to Dallas.
Colin says Sexton and Dallas don't mix to me. Cubes is very protective of his asset, and I don't think that he's going to take any type of big risk of putting a guy who has a notoriously bad attitude next to Luka. Nope.
Damn, that sucks for Miami. I'm still stuck on Miami has Kyle Lowry until the age
Why?
of 38.
Why does that suck for them?
Because they have Kyle Lowry to 38. Till he's 38 years old.
Didn't they ask him to sign his name on the contract and promise him to pay him all them $18 million? Don't feel sorry for them. They
fully
asked for that.
guaranteed.
Felipe Franks, boy, you can tell you haven't played defense in a long time. He just ran down there with his head down and just dove.
Oh yeah, on you punt. But anyway, let's get back to Steven Adams real quick, man. Steven Adams,
Hey,
if he can get a shot, if Steven Adams can get a shot, let me tell you, Memphis is going to be a problem. If he can do this,
a Kungwu, you better learn how to do this soon.
he's taken 18
Soon and very
threes
soon.
in his entire career.
You know who I trust to shoot more less than him though? Brokeback Bed.
Yeah.
You can look. You try to look anywhere else. You try to.
Well, no, I
if
was
you
thinking.
tell me right
No.
now-
I was thinking. Well, damn, that's probably a trade that could happen. Kyle Lowry for Ben Simmons, but it doesn't make any sense. So, doesn't matter.
What are you? So Jimmy Butler can beat him in Miami?
Sneaky said he doesn't like anything about the post moves. About the shots. He likes the post moves. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, post moves are being phased out of the game. There's not going to be too many more traditional bigs in There's not going to be too many more post move type bigs. There should be. And when they do make a comeback, you're going to see somebody that's going to be mediocre and be really, really good.
No, let me be very clear. There are some guys who need to stop doing what they're doing, Jaren Jackson Jr. But if you don't get your ass from around that 3-point line and get in the paint, it's a lot of players who just don't know what they should be doing with themselves. This is one of the cases.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm still watching this game. The Jets are down 16-3, and they're talking trash. No.
In the preseason game. Good luck and Godspeed. Wish you the best of luck. I'm not even arguing with you. I don't have the capacity.
But anyway,
I don't have the capacity.
But back to this, man. If Steven Adams can start hitting turnaround shots, he can. First of all, I think this was really more. I think this was really more self-preservation. Steven Adams was the starting center, and they took him off the court and out of the rotation through the entire playoffs. They brought him back for sentimental reasons. It was like, damn, he really is doing this for the team. But he was so offensively challenged that they couldn't play him, so he's going in the lab and he's working on it.
Well,
and also every NBA player could destroy all this stuff about you could beat these NBA. Every NBA player could destroy you.
You're not beating Steven Adams in anything. Because if he really want to fight you, to kick your ass. Let's go ahead and get that out of there because that is the real Aquaman. More than that though, they're just a team with a severe, like not severely, but extremely skilled big in Jaren Jackson Jr. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's also 8 feet tall and can shoot and can dribble. So that's not a slight on Steven Adams. We have a big who can shoot and still plays the majority of the game in Clint Capella. But if we had Jaren Jackson Jr. at the power 4 instead of John Collins, and I mean it depends on who we're playing. A lot of times Collins will play the small ball 5 if the team is smaller.
Jaren Jackson Jr. and John Collins have similar games though.
Yes, but Jaren Jackson Jr. is just taller.
Yeah. Oh, you saying Jaren Jackson Jr. is better than John Collins? Okay.
Jaren Jackson Jr. is more skilled than John Collins.
So you're gonna agree, but not say that but not agree.
I think that John Collins works harder, and his motor runs hotter, and I think that is what separates the two. But do I think that Jaren Jackson?
Wow, Jr. crazy! I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is definitely a better defensive player. He shoots just as well from 3. Now he does not have anything else. He's not a better screener or roller to the bucket.
He's not a screener or a roller, and he stands out there in the paint too damn much.
Stands out of the paint too much?
Yes.
So does John Collins.
But he stands out of the paint because Clint is in the paint. When Clint is out of the paint, Collins knows this is where I'm supposed to be. Collins does not really want to shoot the 3. He just has to space the floor. Jaren Jackson Jr. really don't want to get in there and get physical.
How can you say somebody don't want to get in there and get physical? They were mentioned to be defensive player of the year, and they were in the top 2. And
Offensively, he wants to be Anthony Davis. That's who he really wants to be.
I can see that. But I mean, John Collins ain't. Yeah, well, John's trying to work on his post game. I will say that.
Yeah.
But John Collins is definitely the better athlete. Yes. Jaren Jackson is definitely more skilled. Jaren Jackson is definitely better at defense. That's why I don't think I would say that.
It's kind of weird because.
About to give me the Bam argument again.
It's kind of the same thing where they're kind of, but I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. is just 7 feet tall. That is the answer.
Yeah, he's 6'10", 6'11", 6'10".
He's just the bigger athlete. But if he frustrates the hell out of me, I'm like, bro, if you don't get your ass from around the 3-point line.
Why? I mean, that goes. He's 6'11". That's what goes to my point. There's not going to be too many more traditional big. He's 6'11" shooting. AD 6'11". Carl Anthony Towns is 6'11".
And all 3 of those guys annoyed the shit out of me for doing the same thing.
Rudy Gobert is 7'3", and he ain't got no post moves.
He doesn't need post moves when you shoot 70% from the field. His post move is left or right. Pick your poison. 7 out of 10 of these I'm going to make.
But dunks, 7 out of 10 dunks.
Yeah. Why I got to have a move if I can dunk dunk left, dunk right. 70% of the time, it works 100% of the time. Shout out to Ron Burgundy.
Anyway, Steven Adams, if he can start hitting these threes, I guess I could take this down because we're not really talking about Steven Adams anymore. If he get these threes, Memphis is going to be great.
He doesn't even have to make them. He doesn't have to make those. Those are difficult. If he can just stand in there and make some of the wide open threes, like imagine
just take the shot. If you could just take the shot and hit 30%, they would have to honor that shot.
Exactly. You can shoot as good as Russ, right?
You be killing Russ.
As a person who he's been one of my favorite players to watch.
Good point, Kev. All Gobert points are assisted.
Congratulations. You threw him the ball. You know how many times the ball gets passed per game and people don't put it in the hoop at 70% of clip? I hate that. Oh, well, we had to throw him the ball. What, throw him the ball? You see how easy you fix your offense? If you got a guy who make it 70% of the time?
Man, if he was that good offensively, they wouldn't have traded him. Well, I don't know, offering 4 first-round picks, whatever they got.
He's that good defensively. I think you can say that without a shadow of a doubt.
That wasn't the point, though. It's the truth. You're like King Pivot. You ain't the pod guy. You the pivot guy. You pivot so well.
But you notice I don't travel.
Yes, you do. You are King Walk. You King. What's that dude?
You see how you switch it up?
I ain't switched nothing up. I said what I said.
Okay, someone has to set it up for him. Guess what you do then? Set it up for him.
What are you talking about? This is another pivot.
No, I'm responding to what the listeners are saying. They said, I don't care if you can cook on your own. We'll run the play and throw you the ball every time. I hate that he can't cook on his own. Well, then get somebody in there to buy the groceries. How about that?
They did.
No, he stopped throwing him the ball. He said, I'm going to fix you. That's the only thing that you really got to worry about is the point guard cutting him off. That's what happened to this situation.
I mean, since we spiraled to this point, I don't, it's going to be difficult. I have to see this work in Minnesota. I have to see Gobert because to me, they're trying to build the twin towers of Tim Duncan and David Robinson, but David Robinson was way more offensively skilled than Rudy Gobert was. Tim Duncan was able to operate one-on-one and perfect that bank shot and do whatever he wants to do as a young player because they couldn't double team him. You can push Gobert. Well, I don't know if you push him, but if he's out of the paint or out of dunking range, you don't have to double Gobert, right? You can go double cat.
Okay, so let's just use simple logic here. You're going to double him and you're going to leave Rudy where?
Depending on where he is.
Okay. Well, hey, Rudy, they doubled him. Run to the basket. Cat is 7 feet tall. You 7 feet tall. Y'all play a game of keep away. How about that? You see how simple that offense is? Figure it out.
Kev said, yeah, no, that ain't simple. It's simple to say. I'll have to see it work. If they make the playoffs. No, it's not. First off, Kev, there is no way if that their ceiling is the playoffs. The ceiling for this team for 4 first-round picks and $400 million between 2 players is championship. If they don't win the championship, it is a fail.
What you think you finna pay Anthony Edwards?
Exactly. So you better get that championship before.
Billy.
You better,
my boy.
You better get that championship before, because you got 2 more years on Anthony Edwards. What is it, 5 years? He's a second.
No, you better pay him now. You better stop. You better stop waiting. As soon as he is eligible for a check, you need to find all the money because he's it. He is the prize. The tall was is the second wheel and the third wheel.
Ooh, sneaky. Dang, Gobert made the ceiling the playoffs. Jesus.
I agree with I hate the way that people are talking about Rudy Gobert. man is a defensive player of the year damn near every year and has the highest shooting percentage in the NBA. And like, he's trash.
Offensively, he's not. I don't care what y'all say. Offensively, he's not good. Offensively, he's not good. Offensively, he's not good.
He scores at a higher clip than everybody else in the NBA. Ever, really. Except for Amari Stoudemire, I think.
If you think that he's good offensively, then you're I don't care what you can say. If he can make 100% of his dunks, if he's not good offensively. He can't get. It's the same thing that people say about John Collins. He can't get his own shot. John Collins at least can shoot a 3. John Collins can at least hit a mid-range. Rudy Gobert can do nothing.
I'm production only. If you can shoot 70%, I can figure out a way to get you to be a world beater. And yeah, maybe we got a point guard who just throws you the ball and sets you up and tees it up. You still got to knock the ball out of the park the last time I checked.
Gobert has been exposed defensively, too, in the playoffs for what it's worth. Fair. Very fair.
Yeah, but y'all got – no. I'm calling bullshit on that.
Call it. You got 3 people that are arguing with you. Go ahead.
But this is the thing. Nobody else is playing defense. That team is outside of Rudy Gobert. Joe Ingles, 85-year-old ass, ain't playing no defense. Spider Mitchell, 5'7" ass, ain't playing no defense. Jordan Clarkson ain't playing no defense. None of these guys are playing defense. So did you expose Rudy Gobert, or did you find out that he can't guard everybody by himself?
He can't guard everybody by himself. And they also have Felipe Franks in at quarterback.
Well, I'm telling me to cut this off. I don't even know why they're doing this at this point. Boy, you are
and
they
proceeded to blitz the house. But anyway,
that's not a surprise.
Ooh, Sneaky said, "Dang, Gobert's missing 30% of his dunks." Spun it around,
and then he's still making more baskets at a higher clip than everybody else. And if y'all find that as a problem, let me introduce you to Clint. He's not a perimeter defender. That's not his job.
Let me ask you this. Rudy Gobert is basically a pick and roll offensive player, right? You can't give him the ball on the
best.
You can't give him the ball on the block for him to make his own shot. You have to either pick and roll or you got to penetrate while he's standing there, pause if necessary, and just throw the lob. Minnesota is not a pick and roll running team. They're iso ball.
Jesus, get Felipe out of here. That was tragic. This is cratering. For me, he's gonna have to be able to do that. You're 8 feet tall. Majority of the centers are not. If I can't throw you the ball against Christian Wood and you cook him, I can't win with that. But I think
Rudy Gobert's cooking Christian Wood?
I think he should be able to get his points. I think he should be able to get 20. Yeah.
You said that. Wait, no. If Rudy Gobert, if you throw the ball to Rudy Gobert, you think he's gonna cook Christian Wood on defense if Christian Wood is guarding him?
When I say cook, I think that yes, you should be able to get your buckets pretty easily.
What do you mean?
You can't let him stop.
Do you mean okay? I mean, all of his buckets are easy. They're all lobs. They're all dunks. All of his buckets are easy. They're either rebounds and dunks or lobs.
Yes. What I'm saying right now is he averaged 15 points last year, and Donovan Mitchell wasn't throwing him the ball. I can get that guy to 20 points. I can.
Okay.
I mean, we saw the numbers on how little Donovan Mitchell throws him the ball. Yeah, we could.
Worthy.
Let me ask this question.
No, he did not. That's my point, Worthy.
Rudy Gobert or Clint Capella?
I mean, as a player or offensively?
I want to know on both sides.
Okay, as a
who you picking?
Rudy Gobert.
Offensively,
Clint Capella. Clint Capella has more touch around the rim, and that's bad because it's Clint Capella, and I'm picking Clint Capella. That's how bad Rudy Gobert is when he has the ball in his hands. He is atrocious. He is. If he wasn't good defensively, he would be Steven Adams.
I mean, let's not act like Steven Adams isn't a good basketball player.
He is not good offensively. That's why they took him out of the rotation. Stop changing the point.
Okay, no. That's not what you said there. You said he would be Steven Adams.
I said if he wasn't good, no, don't. I said if he wasn't good defensively, he would be nothing more than Steven Adams.
Okay, so do you think that Rudy Gobert scores more points or less points on the Hawks?
What kind of question is that? What are you talking about?
If we swapped them out, do you think that Rudy Gobert scores more points on
the Hawks
or less points?
On the Hawks? Yeah, because Trey is going to spoon feed him the ball. Yes.
Oh, so that is where the disconnect is for me. If
you ask me who is better offensively, Clint Capella is better offensively. Clint Capella is better offensively than Rudy Gobert. Full stop. No matter who else is the point guard, no matter who else is what, Clint Capella is better offensively than Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert can do nothing offensively. Nothing. He's just so good defensively that you don't talk about the offense. But he is atrocious on offense.
So explain to me why you think that Rudy Gobert would outscore Clint Capella on the same offense then, if you think that Clint Capella is better offensively.
Because we don't give Clint Capella the ball to be able to separate himself, or when I say separate himself, to create his own shot. He doesn't need to, right?
Okay, so I would like to do the same thing for Rudy Gobert, and I think he's going to get more than the 15 points that Clint Capella does. Like, I'm just following the logic.
No, your logic was, your original question was, what makes Clint Capella, who is better offensively and who is a better player? I said Rudy Gobert is a better player overall. Clint Capella is better offensively. That was my point.
Rudy Gobert has a smaller offensive package than Clint Capella. But I think that Rudy Gobert would score more points than Clint Capella.
So would Robert Williams III.
But he's not that good on defense.
Doesn't matter. We're talking about offense. We're talking about offense.
Oh, yeah. Offensively, Robert Williams has the best offensive package out of those three guys.
Right.
And I think he's probably the worst defensive player.
We were talking about offense.
Okay, yes. So, yeah. But I also think that Robert Williams is probably a 20-point player for us, too.
So, do you think Robert Williams is better than Rudy Gobert?
I wouldn't pick Robert Williams before I pick Rudy Gobert. No.
Would you pick Robert Williams over Clint Capella? Offensively. Because we were talking about offense. Gobert's tall Capella.
Yes, is exactly what it is. I got to see a little bit more from Robert Williams. I think that's fair. Like, I think he's good, but last season I didn't think he was good. So I can't say that I think that he's good. I think that he might be good. I thought Clint Capella was good last season. I think Clint Capella is good this season. I think that Rudy Gobert was good last season. I think that Rudy Gobert is good this season. The only thing that Robert Williams has in his favor is his age, but he gets dinged up too.
Yeah, I ain't saying that. The initial conversation was that Rudy Gobert offensively is atrocious, and you keep saying, "Well, he makes 70% of his shots," and I said they're all dunks.
I don't agree with that.
Okay,
if you score 70, if you score 70%, it might not be what you like to see, but you can't balk at the results.
Okay.
If I have a guy who I know is going to score 7 out of 10 baskets, it ain't got to look great.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it till it don't work, though. I can guarantee you that much.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, and clearly the Hawks think the same thing because they was trying to trade Gobert for Capella.
Yeah. Obviously, they don't think the same thing because Utah thinks way more of Gobert than Hawks did.
Now that ain't thinking. That's your brain on drugs. Hell no, he ain't that much better. I take this little bit of mid and I'll make it work. I will make it work. I'm not gonna give you my whole future, past, present, and future considerations for Rudy Gobert. Hell no.
Boy, one of the medical prices for some. Nope. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to.
This is not medicinal. No.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the basketball segment of the Around the League edition of the Splash Cast. Y'all stay tuned.
Basketball
yeah, hey man, it was good. Gobert would score more than he did in Utah for the. Thank you, Sneaky. See, everybody's on my side. But with that being said, we come to the end of the basketball segment. We're gonna go to the football segment. It is 10:22. We have to go. We have to go. We are at 45 minutes for this segment. We are 43 minutes. We are now going to get into
I'm gonna sneak that back in.
Hey, we can talk about it on Saturday Morning Live. That's fine. We will get to the football segment. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You tried me right there.
I tried you how?
In the segment, bro.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with our football segment of Monday Night Raw, our live edition of the Around the League edition of episode 67 of the Splash Cast. Got a couple things we're going to talk about. Where do we want to start first? Let's start with NFL preseason. Let's start with a team that y'all said was going to be. I'm not going to let y'all forget that, by the way. You're going to hear this. You're going to be annoyed. I don't care. Another team that y'all said was going to be better than the Falcons was Baker Mayfield and the Panthers. And the reason I said Baker Mayfield first is because the Panthers are expected to name Baker Mayfield their starting quarterback for week 1. Water is wet. Obviously, you were going to start Baker Mayfield.
Water is wet in that?
Yes. After seeing Sam Darnold last year, water is wet.
I mean, but he's getting paid a lot of money. Typically, you at least give the money guy a shot first.
Sam Darnold getting paid a lot of money?
He's getting paid the money, yeah.
You think so?
Let's.
Woo, man, Sam Darnold ain't getting paid nothing.
$18 million.
For how many years?
Just next year. But it's still $18 million. It's twice as much what Baker's getting paid.
That is wrong. Sam Darnold is making $8 million. Baker is getting paid $18 million.
I am looking at it right now. 2022 base salary $18,858,000.
I am looking at Sports Track and it is saying $8 million, but maybe I'm wrong. He signed a 4-year, $30 million deal. Oh, it's that crescendo. Panthers, y'all suck. Hey, man, let me tell y'all something.
Y'all see it? Sometimes you got to let them find it for themselves.
The Panthers suck. Y'all signed Sam. Well, why would y'all do this? Sam Darnold got paid.
Nor would you were right.
What, about $18 million? Yeah, you was right about $18 million. And the Panthers are stupid. The Panthers are stupid for paying Sam Darnold $18 million.
Could you imagine
No.
being a guy who... No, let me finish my statement. Could you imagine being the guy who doubled down on a guy like Sam Darnold? Who would do something like that?
I don't know. I said I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I thought that
it's crazy when you abandon your own self.
I don't abandon myself.
Down? Oh, I don't know who did that.
Oh, they laid him out. I don't abandon my own self. No, man. I thought that the Jets coaching staff was so bad that they sabotaged Sam Darnold, just like I said. Just like I said in basketball, when you go to the wrong situation, it can be terrible. The Jets have been the wrong situation since we have been children, and we are in our mid to late 30s. The Jets have not been good at all. When have they been? They had 2 good years. They had butt fumble Sanchez.
Sanchez went to the AFC Championship.
No, the Jets went to the AFC Championship. Sanchez rode the coattails. Come on, man. You right, Stephen. It's places that ruin QBs. It's goddamn the Jets and Cleveland. Those are the 2 teams that ruin QBs.
Oh my God, that leg was on his. That looked like it hurt. But no, they're not. They're not
free
places
Vinny
that ruin quarterbacks. What quarterback did the Jets pick that was actually ruinable? Let me
All
tell
of
you
them.
who it wasn't. Sam Darnold was ruined when you bought him. Zachary Taylor Thomas, ruined when you bought him. Chad Pennington, ruined when you bought him.
I forgot about Chad Pennington. Chad Pennington was okay. He just
None
got
of these guys are
he kept getting hurt. Chad Pennington was good. But
None
anyway,
of these guys actually good quarterbacks though. None
Baker
of them.
Mayfield, Baker Mayfield's the starting quarterback. Whoop de whoop, they still gonna suck.
We could. I been told you that.
No, I didn't want to step on the
McCaffrey.
paper mache McCaffrey. They don't have. I don't even know who's on their defense other than Derek Brown. Oh, J.C. Horn from South Carolina. Like, Panthers suck. Baker Mayfield. What is interesting about this is Baker Mayfield's first game is against who?
Oh, and they're gonna win too.
They're against Cleveland. It's against Cleveland without Deshaun Watson. And so Baker probably is going to go out there. Pop gun arm, yeah. Baker's probably going to go out there and have the game of his life against Cleveland. He going to give all the middle fingers. He going to stare at the. It's going to be like when they played Kansas and he was at Oklahoma and he told him, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. But I don't have an issue with that because he extended his hand first to shake his hand. Dude, play.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan, but y'all brought that on yourself. He is clearly better than everybody on y'all team at the time, and y'all decided to wake the bear.
Spent the rest of the game proving to y'all that he was who he said he was. I do feel like this is peak Baker Mayfield, where you have a situation that's volatile, that's explosive, and he'll go into this situation and flourish. But then you got to play the rest of the season. And eventually you'll just be playing football and he won't be that good.
Yeah. The Panthers defense will be good, but they will got to shut people out and win because they might average 3.5 points. No, Robbie Anderson is going to get them. Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, Baker Mayfield.
I believe in none of that. I believe in that.
They just signed DJ Moore, didn't they? They re-signed.
I just watched the Manti Te'o documentary. I will be making no more Manti Te'o jokes. Thoughts and prayers to that man and his family. Wish everybody the best.
I gotta watch the documentary because I still have all the jokes, but I gotta watch the documentary before I say anymore. Because apparently it's wild. It's wild.
Once you watch about 15, 20 minutes, you'll be like, "Wow, this went a whole different place than I thought it was gonna go." So yeah, I don't believe in any of this. I believe by the end of the season, Baker will want out of Carolina. Carolina will want to be done with Baker, but it will start out hot and exciting.
I don't think Baker will want out of Carolina, or at least he won't make it known because
he'll want. I mean, let's be real about what Carolina is and what it ain't. It ain't nothing good over there.
Where would he go?
He'll want to go somewhere and have an opportunity to play and win.
Where?
Oh, we don't know what. Every year we have it's quarterbacks who we think. I mean, there are a bunch of jobs that could be up. Let's be real.
Of a winning team? Who? Indianapolis.
Or Indianapolis.
They got Matt Ryan.
Possibly the Saints.
You think they're a winning team?
Somebody in the NFC South got to be a winning team. Yeah, like numbers. Somebody is going to win out of there. So, I mean, as much as we've liked the couple throws we've seen from Desmond Ridder, we're not sold on him either. The other team the other two teams in the NFC South will be. Everybody could be looking for a quarterback in the NFC South, to be honest with you.
One of the listeners said Baker Mayfield is the next Jeff George. That's not a bad thing.
As a Falcons supporter, that's not an insult. He one of the better ones if you really get down to it.
Nah.
Okay, I mean, Jeff George, Chandler, Vic, Matt Ryan, Barkowski, who was before our time.
Billy Joe Tolliver.
Before our time.
Billy Joe Tolliver was definitely in the 90s. What you mean? We played at Fulton County Stadium. What you mean?
No. and
I don't.
tolerating it.
I think Baker Mayfield should ride this out with the Panthers. Honestly, if he has a decent season, because I feel like this is what's gonna happen. He's gonna have a decent season. They're gonna go 5-12. They're gonna have a bunch of close games, and they're gonna keep the coach. They're gonna keep the coach, and the coach is gonna keep Baker Mayfield.
You think Matt Rule comes back next year if they go 5-12? I mean, well,
if they have a bunch of close games, they do.
I'm. It's a lot of purging. The NFC South is a conference in flux. Please don't make me watch any more Felipe.
What flux? What flux? Ain't no flux. Tampa Bay been at the top since Brady got there.
That is the name of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't no flux.
Ain't no flux. We know what it is.
Ain't no flux. Give him, bro. I don't give a flux.
Oh man,
this conference ain't been. Hey, it's Tom Brady
and everybody else.
Rest you clowns out there practicing football for all the wrong reasons.
Speaking of Tom Brady, man. Well, before we leave the Panthers, I do want to say T's and P's to Matt Corral. Matt Corral suffered a Liz Frank injury, which is a really big injury when it comes to sports players, especially football and basketball and American sports.
Bone in the foot.
Broke that bone in the foot. If you remember, that is one of the injuries that Joel Embiid had, Kevin Durant had. I will say that there has been substantial medical advancement when it comes to treating that because that used to be like a death sentence to a lot of players. Yeah. Like you get a Liz Frank injury, it's a problem. Felipe Frank's
you got a year to red shirt anyway, big dog. It would never get to you.
Oh yeah. Now that's actually a conversation with the Baker Mayfield stuff. You Matt Corral doesn't really impress me, right? He didn't impress me at Ole Miss. I think it's probably I'm more biased because I heard that he took the easy route to go to Ole Miss and then didn't do well. How you take the easy route and fail? Like you.
And look, that picture is the worst picture you could have picked. He looked like a punter.
Well, that's when he broke. I think that's the play he broke his foot on. That's his expression when he broke his foot.
Hey, he need to get it in the weight room. You can do some bench or some stuff until then, bro. You need to get stronger. This is not. You on that Kevin Durant, boy. No shots either. I want. I already seen somebody. Who else? The dude from Hard Knocks. His dad took a shot at KD, and they played that all over the internet. Don't mean me, bro. I come in peace. I want to leave in peace.
Yeah. So T's and P's to Matt Rule. I mean, not Matt Rule. Matt Rule, you out of there. Matt Corral.
The Mats.
Speaking of the Buccaneers, the Bucs can't catch a break. Literally, they can't. I mean, Ali Marpet, who was their best lineman, retired. Tom Brady tried to finagle his way to the Dolphins in ownership and tried to pull a Michael Jordan, which is a discussion we need to have eventually. Tried to pull a Michael Jordan and go be partial owner and then come back as a player. Their coach left. And now the Buccaneers guard Aaron Stinnie has suffered a season-ending torn ACL and MCL. That means he's out for like 18 months.
Yeah. And didn't they lose the other guy already for the season?
Mm-hmm. They have lost 3 linemen, 1 to retirement, 2 to out for the season. And they just got their wide receiver Golson back, but it's interesting. And then Tom Brady taking that leave of absence, and they was like, well, Tom Brady's going to return, this week, and there's no sign of Tom. So
he showed up today.
He showed up today? Oh, he showed up. They said I didn't see that. They said he was going to show today. I thought there would have been like headline Sean showed up. Yeah. They kept that low.
You got it. Adam Schefter posted it.
Oh yeah.
We go back and forth with Adam Schefter, but he did post it.
Tom Brady, man. What?
And looking like
They lost
Looking like
Ryan
himself.
Jensen, Ali Marpet, Alex Cappa to free agency,
That's who it is.
and Aaron Stinney. So they lost their center, both their starting guards, and the replacement guard. They've lost 4 linemen before the first game.
Yeah, that's how you beat Tom Brady. You just gotta hope that something else happens.
Yep.
I mean, look at Tom. Tom is looking like himself. I mean, I know this ain't really a whole lot to see, but he don't look like Leonard Fournette.
Who don't look
That
like
was a
Leonard
shot.
Fournette? Oh yeah.
Tom Brady.
In other news,
Well, I just threw the clip of him up there so you can see it. But yeah, he's at practice, and the rest of these guys look like they watching the guy who has the job. Oh,
Yeah.
Kyle Trask.
his best days are at Florida. Ain't that funny?
No, he's playing behind Tom Brady. Yeah, all of your best days are behind you as long as you're playing behind the GOAT.
Did you think Kyle Trask was actually going to be a good quarterback in the NFL?
I'm still not 100% sure that he's not.
I'm
I think
96% sure.
I think that he's as good as everybody else playing.
In the NFL?
I do think that. I think he's as good as Scam Darnold. I think he's as good as Danny Dimes. I give you a long list of people who I think are as good or equal to.
Yo, Felipe Frank don't make this team. He just ran over 3 Jets. They ain't doing nothing but read option. And he is literally running over that one.
I cut it
dude.
off. I will never watch Felipe Frank.
He ran
play
over
quarterback.
3 Jets just now.
Because he's a tight end. That's the reason.
But yes, it's interesting with the Buccaneers with their offensive line so terrible. Now everything else is great. Well, I mean, yeah, everything else is great. Did they re-sign Ronald Jones? Because Fournette, is
Ronald
big.
Jones is in Kansas City.
Damn, they got him too.
Pacheco, Jarrett, Ronald Jones, Clyde. Essentially, all 4 guys makes the team too. Because you assume Pacheco as the rookie, Clyde is their draft. Jarrett just had a big play. Rojo is the guy who kind of seems to be on the edge, but just you don't know what you're gonna get out of Clyde. So the more running backs you have, the better.
I guess, and I'm not gonna put anything with the Fleur de Lis on the screen right now, since we don't have the link. But
Slew the Lee. No, it's up.
no, it's not. You updated it. You didn't see any of the chat where I said update. I literally texted and put it in the chat.
I thought I did. I'm sitting over here like, yeah, it's right here. Bam.
Ronaldo. But
it's just a picture of him
and
standing
then
there.
Felipe
and saying,
Franks throws a pick 6.
Injured.
Of course.
That's the reason I cut that off. I don't know. He's not a quarterback. Stop.
Anyway, Michael Thomas is not right. He possibly is his hamstring issue. He's had a problem with the oh no, it's a fumble. Oh, Felipe. Anyway, he's Michael Thomas has had a rough road in New Orleans since the ankle injury, since Sean Payton left, Drew Brees. I told y'all, and y'all said it was hate, and it was partially hate. That I said Michael Thomas ain't as good as y'all think he is. He set the record for receptions and all. I said he ain't.
Well, we'll never know now, huh?
He ain't as good as you think he is, because he had the benefit of playing with the top 2 quarterback in the league, the top offensive line, top 2 offensive minded quarterbacks in the offensive minds with the head coach. Michael Thomas.
I agree.
And everything
Sean Payton is that dude. Drew Brees is that dude. But I do think that Michael Thomas, because there are certain parts of his game, game that are irrefutable.
What?
He was a masterful route runner. He had it, and he could catch. At the end of the day, all the rest of that pomp and circumstance is cool, but for sure, to me, technically sound. He's fast. He can catch.
Man, you can
Fast
run.
enough.
You can run. It's easy to run routes when everybody else plays zone. He made no contested catches. All his catches were wide open. Wide open. That's why I was like, yo, y'all tripping. Like I'm not saying he's not good. He's obviously a good receiver. But he is not as good as everybody else says. I'm gonna reserve it because I don't want to say I told you so because he got hurt. Yeah. I want him to be I want him to be fully healthy in a non-Sean Payton, non-Drew Brees, non-Sean Payton, non-Drew Brees offense. I want him to be as healthy as he could possibly be, so that I can say I told you so.
It's too late. He'll never go back to that guy.
He's that guy for 1 year. Y'all crazy.
Was it just?
Man, fuck him, man. I'm telling you, man. I told you how it was, and everybody told me I was crazy. Now, y'all out here. Man. He made no contested catches. No contested catches.
Yards,
no
1,400 yards. 1,700 yards.
No contested catches. No contested catches.
I ain't going for that.
I don't care.
I mean,
and it is. I agree. It is possibly.
He hasn't played in so long. He's older and he's been injured. He's never going to get back to the guy who he was. But I think that he had 3.
Who was he better than?
He was the offensive player of the year.
Okay, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think he was a product of the system. He's a product of the system.
Yeah,
he's just like everything. Man, come on, man.
Yeah, Michael Thomas. That is a hill that you can die on by yourself. Michael Thomas was good when he played.
I ain't saying now I don't know what he was overrated. He was overrated.
But in 2019 he wasn't overrated. Not with 7. See, here we go. All right, nope. But Cooper Kupp is world beater. Next.
Cooper Kupp made contested catches. Speaking of,
never played wide receiver 1 either.
Speaking of, okay, Michael Thomas was moved around. He wasn't wide receiver 1 at all times.
Wide receiver 1.
They moved Michael. Nah, shut up. They moved Michael Thomas just as much. Didn't mean that. That's disrespectful. I'm sorry. They moved Michael Thomas around just as much as they moved Cooper Kupp around.
Who was wide receiver 1 for the Saints when he was there?
Who was wide receiver 1? Michael Thomas. Who was wide receiver 1 for the Rams?
He's. I cannot wait for this.
You keep saying 1,700 yards, 1,400 yards, all of this stuff for Michael Thomas, and Cooper Kupp broke all of those records. So how can you say Cooper Kupp isn't good, but Michael Thomas is? And Cooper Kupp did it being guarded by people.
First of all, if you just look at them side by side, it ain't even close.
You talking about appearance-wise? Come on, man. That's BS too.
No, see, that's where you tried to slide me right there. You tried to cheat me out of there, but I'm not gonna let you do that.
How I tried to cheat you?
Michael Thomas' career and is actually pretty good because I'm gonna actually look at this. I'm gonna slide that right over there. I'm gonna bring this over here so we can see both at the same time. 2017, Cooper Kupp, 869 yards.
Who is his quarterback?
Michael Thomas, 1,245 yards.
Who's his quarterback?
I don't know, Jared Goff, maybe.
And who was
Okay, so now okay, so I want to make sure that I follow your logic here.
I said that before.
If your quarterback is good, does that mean that you are less good?
No, I didn't say that at all. That was you that said that.
No, I didn't say that. I was just trying to get an understanding of your logic.
I said, I think, well, let me put it to you this way, because this is something that you like to do a lot. Cooper Kupp would have the same numbers that Michael Thomas had if he was on the Saints, and Michael Thomas would have the same numbers that Cooper Kupp had if he was on the Rams in that year that you're trying to compare. 100%.
Cooper Kupp has only had one season.
He only had one good quarterback. if you substitute those
Okay.
two, because this is what you like to do. If you substitute those two, the numbers will still be the same.
Hey,
800
Cooper Kupp
yards for Michael Thomas, 1,200
season,
yards.
Michael Thomas, 5 seasons.
Come on, man.
Same though.
Come on, man, because you be
Same
giving
guy.
you give me those same excuses when we talk about Florida. So you
Same
can't
guy.
you jump side to side on all of that stuff. What are you doing? Holding
Five
up
over
15?
here.
15?
One over here. Nope. This is for 1 good season. This is for 5 good seasons. But as you can see, if you look very closely, I'm holding up the same amount of fingers. This is whatever this is, and this is whatever this is. But they are in the same. If you look very closely, same amount of fingers.
Man, you shouldn't have to explain that. But okay. Sure. We'll just agree to disagree. I
was
still
just
think
showing
Michael
people your math. Sometimes you got that new math now where you do the swoop and then the swoop, and it's like
Oh,
one championship, 3 championship, same thing, right?
Boy, woo! I like how you slid that hate in there. Slide the hate in there. Anyway, we gonna go. Let's go to. I don't even want to bring this up because I don't really care. I don't really want to see the Gronks, but it's wild crazy that Brady and Gronk, the deal to the Raiders was almost done.
Shout out to the Raiders. You hate yourselves. You hate everything about yourselves. You don't ever want to be successful. You specialize in being terrible. That's the reason y'all got Mike Mayock. Everything is working out for you. John Gruden. I like the way that you guys are truly nailing things around there. Then the fact that you guys had the opportunity to get Tom Brady and Gronk and somehow fumble.
How could you not see that if you got Tom Brady and Gronk, you'd have gotten everybody else?
Don't. Hey, if you can't see that, you don't deserve a team. That's the reason I can't hate everybody's team. So a lot of teams will take themselves right on out of the paint for you. You don't even have to worry about you.
That's wild crazy. And then, well, oh, what a pick. What an interception. Let's go.
Braves
Fifth
won.
string.
How about that?
The Braves won? They actually played?
2-1.
Yes, sir. Keeping it moving. Let's quickly go to college football so we can get to the splashes of the week. The sources say.
What'd they say?
The presidents and chancellors who make up the college football playoffs board of managers held a brief discussion on Monday about major college football operating under a governance structure outside of the NCAA. I'm going to tell you something right now. That has nothing to do with the major college. That's SEC. The SEC was the ringleader of this. They were the ones that decided, hey, we already got all of the good teams in college football. Literally all of them. Yeah, that was Tease Tabor. Go Gators. That was Tease Tabor that made that pick.
Speaking of, there's nothing that makes me more happy than another legacy just being ruined in no time whatsoever in the NCAA. You never paid any of these kids. Now these kids are getting rich and they're about to eliminate you. You can go back to focusing on badminton and volleyball because football is finna move around because you wasted their time, took advantage of too many people. This is hubris, and I love it. I love to see the NCAA get their ass kicked now because they deserve it.
If the SEC leaves, I don't know if the NCAA can sustain themselves football-wise.
Well, if anybody loses the place where you make all your money, life is gonna get difficult. Let me tell you.
That's tough.
Think about if there's no college football, what you're reduced to.
If I'm the NFL, I don't let that happen. Because at that point, because you're a semi-pro team at that point, you semi-pro. With no governing body, and you probably are. You could be you have an avenue to a pro football league, is what I'm trying to say. If you take yourself out of a governing body and still prosper, you are now an entrepreneur, right? You don't have anybody else. So then you can come.
What's the difference between that and what the NBA has done with the G League?
So you think the NFL would allow the SEC to be the G League of the NFL? Or you think that the SEC will want to be the G League? They would make more money.
It's kind of like the NIL. Are they not the G League of the NFL right now?
I don't follow what you're saying. The NIL is the G League of.
No.
That's what you just said.
Excuse me. Let me restate and clarify. So right now, the SEC is the G League of the NFL, unofficially.
Possibly.
Look it up.
Yeah. You could say that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I can't like. Yeah.
Where are the majority of the players drafted from?
The SEC. Yeah.
Where do you go when it's time to look for players to add to your team?
So at that point, do you even try to make them go to school, or do you just pay them to come play football and then go to the NFL? Like, how does that work?
Once again, this is something that you and I are uniquely qualified about. What is 2 years, maybe 3 years of college really worth?
What do you mean?
What are 2 or 3 years of college really worth? If
In terms
you have
of,
no
like,
intention
money?
of
Like, what are you
in life. What I'm saying is, if these guys are going to play college football for 2 or 3 years so that they can go pro, we know that they're not invested in long term.
Yeah.
The educational value. They're not, hopefully, you go back and finish your degree, but also, do you really need it? You just get to a point where we're in a different point in existence now, where if you don't go finish the degree, then what are you really going to college for?
I guess the opportunity.
But you're going the opportunity to play football, not the opportunity to get an education.
Yeah. So you saying that the play for the SEC here would be we'll just make you the semi-pro, the G League of the NFL. What does that leave with everybody? What does that leave the NCAA?
Once again, people can go to hell. I don't care where it leaves you. Leaves you out of this situation. That's where it leaves you. But that's your fault, because you could have fixed this a long time ago, and people told you to fix it. And you said, no, I just want to get rich. Well, you kept stealing, and now you're being circumvented. That's your fault.
You are the Elmo meme. You just want to see chaos. Chaos.
Well, I don't want to see chaos, but if you haven't done anything to prevent this from happening, and you willfully took advantage of these college students, oh, well, good luck and Godspeed, my friend. I don't feel bad for you at all.
No, it doesn't. Sneaky leaves NCAA with March Madness, but those ratings are down because kids are going to the G League.
That was the purpose of my question. That was thank you, Sneaky, and thank you, Reggie. That's exactly where I was going. Your next big ticket item ain't the biggest ticket anymore.
Nope.
So now where are you at?
Badminton, tennis, baseball.
World Series of baseball. And,
softball.
I mean, it's good, but we also know that if you're a top tier baseball player, you're probably not playing the World Series.
Boy, Felipe Franks is so bad as a passer.
You ever seen Ronald Acuna play in World Series, College World Series, or real World Series?
Neither.
But yeah, it's just I was testing to see if what you was gonna answer to that. But it's just that there's more value in an understudy minor league than there is in you wasting time going to college and possibly getting in trouble doing stupid shit.
You know what's interesting about this? When it comes to money and it comes to these, damn, you're so bad, Felipe. Lord, when it comes
Why
to
are
like
you watching that?
Because it's the Falcons, I gotta watch it.
No, you don't.
We gotta talk about it. I gotta have something to talk about.
I'm gonna tell you, I will never. Y'all ain't gotta worry about Norwood having Felipe Franks quarterback talk. I saw it enough in Florida. I'm not watching it with the Falcons.
The Big Ten ended. The Big Ten ended their. What is it I want to say? They ended their negotiations with ESPN. And are with CBS. Now, my Southern bias is showing because, damn, horrible. There's no way that I can probably get used to Big Ten football on CBS. Like when you hear that CBS intro, ding, 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 like that's SEC, like all day.
Sneaky, you make me sick.
That's SEC all day. So for now, I will say the Big Ten definitely capitalized because this is a $7 billion deal. This is a huge deal. The deal with ESPN was $350 million, and they was like, $350 million. We reject that. And ESPN said, "Yo, y'all not the SEC." CBS, Fox, NBC Universal, which is now a Peacock, partner with the Big Ten Network and FS1, and beginning July 1st, 2023 to 2030, this deal is $7 billion with and the thing I want y'all to see is at least $7 billion. It has built-in escalators that could take it up to $10 billion. So that little $350 million negotiation offer that they had with ESPN was basically a fuck you. That's pretty much what it was because you knew you weren't taking that deal.
I miss that. You're right. If you offer me $350 million and I'm worth $7 billion, that is you probably got to cuss that person out.
Or just not answer.
That's like somebody like, hey, man, I'll buy your car for $7. Bro, step outside.
So the bid ESPN turned down, and this is what I'm going to read, turned down for Big Ten was 7 years, $380 million, would have been for about 13 games or half of their current 27-game package. Access to the second and third best Big Ten games were limited to ESPN's primetime window, where they have deals to show the SEC and ACC. So basically, they were like, we're not going to show anything but your main game, and we're only going to pay you for half of the games. And keep in mind, that's it.
So I have two different points of view on this. Number one, they never were interested in this offer.
Ever.
They didn't want you to. They made the offer so egregious. We know you won't take it.
It's disrespect.
Yeah. You just had. But I don't hate. Once you kind of break down what ESPN said I'll pay you for,
I'm out.
No, wait, but that's what I think they should be paid for. I think the breakdown was commiserate with their value. Now, the value is what somebody else will pay. But Big Ten, what are the teams in the Big Ten?
Ohio State.
Who else?
Michigan.
Who else?
Michigan State. Penn State.
And Michigan.
Michigan State.
Out of those four, because that's the only four teams that you would even dare mention, three of them have not played in the national championship in God knows how long.
I think you are focused on football too much.
That's what that is what carries. This is what the money is for.
The Big Ten historically has had good basketball as well. The basketball here is what
basketball ain't where the money is though.
But the basketball adds to the value of this contract. Because you have now nationally advised games,
Michigan State,
televised games. You got Michigan State, Ohio State. I don't know about Penn State. I don't know who else is
Wisconsin,
in the Big Ten. USC, UCLA. You had in Wisconsin. Well, Indiana. Wisconsin's not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
But
nope. I'm pushing back. Who in the NBA did you see at Michigan that you were like, oh, that guy's good? Who did you? Nah, it's just not enough value for me. It's nowhere near enough value
versus the SEC in basketball.
No.
Just in general.
SEC is a one trick pony. We are here to play football early and aggressive, and we are what everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
Nope.
Maryland's in the Big Ten. I forgot about Maryland.
The SEC is the Rudy Gobert of conferences.
So when you think about it now, go ahead.
We do one thing, and we do that very, very good.
I thought Rudy Gobert's good, but he makes 70% of the shots. But no, we're not gonna say that. If you think about CBS now, they have a lock on major college football with Big Ten and SEC, and now they have Big Ten and SEC basketball, which we do say basketball is not as popular as it used to be. That's still a monopoly. The only other good basketball, not only other. The Big Ten is probably the third or fourth best basketball conference, right? You got ACC, Big 12, then you got Big Ten, SEC fighting it out somewhere in there.
Depends on the day.
So, but CBS, Fox, and NBC have a monopoly, and now they can show Big Ten basketball on. I don't remember watching college basketball on NBC. I don't know.
I don't want to watch that.
I don't remember it, but I mean, this was a very lucrative deal for the Big Ten, and the more I read about it, I mean, there's no way that the ESPN even they just were out on it. They was like, y'all not worth it. Y'all not worth it. Speaking with football, what are we talking about? We are talking about the college football playoffs have chosen Atlanta to host the 2025 national championship at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
I cannot wait for the Gators to win a championship there.
Yeah. Right now, though, I ain't gonna lie to you. The college football team that owns this stadium is Alabama.
You didn't have to finish that. We already knew.
We do that.
We've seen every SEC championship for the last 4 years.
And they won the national championship there. They beat Georgia on the last throw of the game by 2. Like our friend that's watching, Mike Wortham, calls the stadium this, and I can't really say anything. He calls it Bryant-Denny East. And
I cannot wait for the Gators to win this championship in 2025. I look forward to it.
2025, Billy Napier will be in his fourth year, 23, 22, 23.
It's about to make a break time. Either he'll be moving on or he'll be moving up. One of the two.
Do y'all coaches make it 4 years?
That's right around the time. We have that first year that's really good. And after that, they get start dropping
Florida
gets
Gators.
bad fast.
Yeah. I did say this to Norwood, and I'm going to say it again because he said this to me. Worthy, if you're still watching, isn't it funny? You remember when Norwood used to say that Georgia players had better careers after they left Georgia? They had all the talent, but they had better careers. Isn't it funny how Kyle Pitts is like a creative player, world beater, Tease Tabor out here, Damian Pierce out here about to start. Tease. He's a Gator. I threw it out there. He's a Gator.
But Kyle Pitts is concussions. Concussions got him. That's what got him.
He had one concussion.
Yeah, that's 3 games.
Laid him. Nah, it was probably one game, and he was like, nah, fuck y'all. I'm going to the league.
You blame him. Yeah, I mean, he made the right career decision. Good
the
job.
Falcons blew it.
I'm not, but for sure. I mean, I said that then, and people call me crazy. I said that Kyle Pitts may not win the Heisman, but he is the best wide receiver in college football this season, and I was 100% right.
I forgot about Malik Davis. Kyer Elam out there playing well in Buffalo. He was actually good at. He had no choice. He had to be good. He ain't had no defensive line. What else we got?
Which I think is going to make AJ Terrell even better is the fact that he had to cover for a long time. It's not like we had a pass rush. You had to for a long time, my friend.
Yep. But I hope Georgia makes it to this championship and actually wins because
why tear that stadium up? Why would tear that stadium up?
We have bad luck. We won one SEC championship there, and then we got our hearts broke by Alabama. So, like,
Yeah, here's a joke there. I'm gonna skip over it though. It's too easy.
what? Have our hearts broke by Alabama?
Yeah, I was gonna make a Ben Simmons joke. Continue.
Who's the kid from the Gators that's on the Giants right now? Free him.
Darius Toney.
He ain't better than Hollywood Brown. He fast and shifty and can't catch.
Different positions. One's a running back. One's a receiver.
Darius Toney is definitely a receiver.
Is that what he plays? I mean, just because he plays that with the Giants does not
Ain't
mean
this funny, y'all? Ain't this funny, y'all? I know more. This your team. We now everybody call you a fair weather fan now. You
I done been on this struggle too long by myself to be a fair weather. I grew up in Georgia, a Florida fan. Hey,
nah, but as soon as you say, as soon as y'all go down at halftime, so I told y'all. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm honest and realistic about my team. Yeah,
So if you honest and realistic about your team, then 2025 is a long way away from you.
it is a long way away, and I think that they.
I'm not even talking about time. I'm just talking about talent, program, everything. Y'all a long
he's
way
hurt
from that.
again.
Yeah.
Damn, KDT. I liked him. He played running back for us though. Like you know how
No,
we have.
he did not. He was your slot receiver.
You're right. I guess kind of.
Yeah, your digression is appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the football segment of the Splash Cast episode 67 Monday Night Raw. We got one more segment to go, and it's gonna be quick. The splashes of the week. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our final segment of episode 67 of the Splash Cast, the Around the League edition. Our splashes of the week. We have one topic to talk about, but it is wonderful for more than one thing. Last week we talked about Serena definitely winding down her career, stepping away from tennis, and retiring. A lot of people have asked who's going to fill that void. There's a lot of pressure on a lot of minority. Who's going to be the next minority great in tennis? Naomi Osaka is on that trajectory. I don't know if she's on the Serena trajectory, but she was on that trajectory to be the next great minority tennis player, both on the court and off the court. So one thing that a lot of athletes of this generation have done is publicly start brands and businesses and built their brands to be not only lucrative and successful, but also give a voice to the voiceless, give hope to the hopeless, and champion people that haven't been championed in the past. One thing that she does is she does a skincare called Ken Lo. And she signed 5 athletes to NIL deals, and they are all of different backgrounds, but minority backgrounds as well. 4 women and 1 man. So shout out to Naomi Osaka. She's always been plugged in on the philanthropy side, on the side of giving opportunity to other athletes. And I think this is just the beginning. I'm happy for this movement in sports.
Yeah, I like to see athletes investing in themselves instead of just being, an athlete for a team. I mean, for a company or something like that. Actually, start your own. If somebody's going to make money off you, let it be you.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's something that is important. and you can provide something specifically for your people. Like I think it says here, a melanin rich skincare company. Like that's what they're very clear about what their intentions are and the products that they're putting out. So if you can, always support. Also, just happy to see people being successful in different business ventures, specifically in things that they really want to do, their passions.
Yeah, man. I hope this continues to take off. I think going back to the NIL deal about NIL, everything you said last segment in the football, in the football segment, you said the NCAA, you enjoyed seeing them have to go back and crumble because you refused to pay these athletes and you got rich off the back of all these athletes. I think part of that is why it's a big deal is because the NILs, you're now having other athletes take their money and invest in the athletes. And because the athletes can identify and relate to somebody like Naomi Osaka or somebody that went to college and wasn't making money or somebody that's in that versus an athletic director that may not have been in sports, may just be really good at finance, you are now going and you're going to side with them and make your own money. And as I said before, go ahead.
The only thing, because I want to make sure that we address this in a specific business like skincare, where African American and melanated people are so often missed, underrepresented, or completely not represented at all, and it's something that is so important because people's skin color, type, texture are all different. So you're providing something that hasn't been provided before in an underrepresented industry. That is also very important. She kind of two birds, one stone here.
Very, very important. The point I was making about athletic directors is even though that you can pay athletes, well, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into the language, but in the past, if Naomi Osaka wanted to endorse athletes, she had to give the money directly to the athletic department, and the athletic
Correct.
department had to decide whether where they were going to allocate that money, who they were going to allocate that money to, what they were going to. You just had to donate to there. Now that you can go and sign directly with Naomi Osaka, why would I donate to the athletic department if I don't really believe in anything that you're saying? If I don't believe that you're really looking out for the well-being of it, I'll just go sign them to my own thing.
And say, you can do both. Two different purposes. If I pay money to the school, I'm looking for some level of power. I'm looking for some level of influence. That has its own value. Let's be very clear. Whether it's a PWI or HBCU, if you have access to the people in charge, that's of great value.
Fair. You don't think that you could get that same power if I were to go, like some of these people in NIL deals are going and signing the entire football team? You don't think that the athletic director and all of them are in their ear when that happens?
Yes. I mean, they're both spheres of influence, but I don't want to act like putting a new locker room in there doesn't give you a very large influence, because it does. But being able to sign, you're right, your whole football team to an NIL deal gives me influence too. And if I can do both, now I have influence on both sides, which gives me more power. It's just all different spheres of influence. But I don't want one to, now the NILs have picked up. Nah, if you build that locker room and they put your name on that locker room,
your kids go there for free forever. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a good point.
I'm here, and I got a guy. He my cousin, step nephew, but he can play football. Put him on the team. My name is on the locker room. You better.
My name is Ben Sweeney, and my dad is Dabo Sweeney, so I'm gonna be on full scholarship as the holder.
Exactly. Actually, and if y'all are listening to this, teach your sons how to long snap, man.
Teach your sons how to play soccer.
No, long snap. Every team has to have a long snapper, and you don't have to be big, fast, or strong to do it. You just got to be able to snap the ball every time to the guy.
And run down the field. And make it a tackle once a year.
Once. As long as you don't mess up the snap, they don't care. You ain't never got to tackle nobody.
Yep. Mean hustle. With that being said, I told y'all our splashes of the week was quick. We have come to the end of episode 67 of the Splash Cast. What is it? No Flux Given is what we decided to call this?
Yes. No Flux Given.
If we didn't miss anything, Norwood, take us out.
Before we take anything and go anywhere, can you please pull up where they can find us, Mr. Davis?
Woo!
Quick
Got y'all ready. Got
Bam,
you ready.
ready.
What you do, you go to www.instagram.com. You go to the search. You go to the search. You type in the Splashcast. All one word, all lowercase. Case really doesn't matter, actually. And then you click on the link tree. But before you click on the link tree, you will find the latest episode, Splashcast 24 pack, variety pack is what I call it. Splashcast variety pack. You will find the latest episode as well as the schedule. The schedule here, Monday, we are Monday Night Raw. Tuesday, ATL edition. Wednesday, Splashcast 12 pack. Thursday, if you didn't have a chance to catch Monday Night Raw, the edited Around the League will be out on Thursday. And then Saturday, we do Saturday Morning Live. Then you click on the link tree. Bow. You've already followed. You've already subscribed. You've already clicked the bell. You've already done all of that with Instagram. You click the link tree and woo, look at that. Where can they find us, Norwood?
They can find us at YouTube at the Splashcast, Apple Podcasts at the Splashcast, Spotify at the Splashcast, Google Podcasts at the Splashcast, Instagram literally at the Splashcast, Twitter at _ the Splashcast, Twitch. You should be watching us right now. That is actually us, full groove as we speak, as Reggie's computer continues to load. Look at that. That's my handsome face. You can find us at TikTok at the Splashcast. That is the bonus playlist. That is our Twitter, so that you can listen to us clown these other teams. We have the Splashcast playlist home, and that is the master list, which is newly updated. And if you're a podcaster, I assume that you very well may be, you can listen to us on Anchor as you put together your own show.
And Facebook. Remember, we do have a fan page. If you are on Facebook, I know some of y'all aren't. Your grandmamas, your aunts, your uncles that like sports might be on there. Tell them go ahead and go to the Splashcast and subscribe. We all there. We all family. So we love to have we love to have distant cousins. We all love to have family. Black folks love to say that my distant cousin. We love
my cousin on my
6 removed. Aaron Judge hit another home run.
Good. I hope he hit 1,000 home runs. I hope he hit more home runs than anybody in the history of baseball. I'm joking. I'm for real though. I'm really serious about that. I hope he does. But overall, man. Oh, can you pull up the weekly schedule? It's only what?
I did that
Monday
already.
Night Raw.
I did that already, but we'll do it again. Remember I said that before you click. Do this.
Oh, but of course, Monday Night Raw, ATL edition, Splashcast 24 pack will be out here soon. And I wanted to bring up, I asked on my own Instagram today, Tank, I don't know if he sampled or he repurposed some Lil Baby lyrics.
It's tough though.
And I ran a little poll today, and I think the people is jiving with it. I'm starting to believe that as long as people like you, you can kind of do this, because Beyonce did the same thing with the Eisen Brothers, and then Neo did Thug Passion, and they murdered him for it. So yeah, this one went way better. Neo is the only person to really take an L. You knew the Beehive was going to destroy and make sure that she was supported, but Tank is running away with it right now. He's at 93%. Only 7% of the people didn't like the song.
You finished?
Yep. But with that said, Thursday Around the League, and then Saturday we will be right here, Saturday morning live, doing it live.
Oh, the Yankees won, and normally that is not a good thing, but they beat the Mets, so that is a great
congratulations. Well, no.
All right, man, take us out.
It ain't even hit right. It's like saying go dogs. It's just not right.
You know this is tape, right? So now this is gonna be cut up, and you're gonna say go dogs every time they win. So just want to let you know, so you're not surprised.
Hey, if you want to deep fake me, then congratulations.
True.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. With that said,
I'm not imitating you. That was an irrelevant statement.
Numero uno. We come here at the end of every episode and ask for more black baseball. Today is no different. Shout out to my man Money Mike hitting us another home run and giving us the go-ahead win. Thank you, Mr. Mike Harris. Please, more black baseball. Number 2, more black cowboys and more black cowgirls. Number 3, the most important, the historically black college university that you graduated from, your mother graduated from, that auntie that you cool with graduated from, your cousin named Calvin, he graduated from, or you just maybe was close to the school. Send some money over there. The historically black college university in your neighborhood, in your city, the one that you go to tailgate, you show up at their homecoming, you go to their events, send some money over there. That's the least you can do. You go over there, sucking up the set out, having the time of your life. Least you can do is send a couple dollars back. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the Hampton University, the place that I got my degree, the place that Reggie got his degree, the same place that Booker T. Washington got his degree. You send your money over there because we love you, we respect you, and we support you. When you send the money, do it on behalf of the Splashcast.
Also, I gotta plug Southern University. You gotta send some money if you in the mid Southwest listening, and you don't have a chance to send it to Hampton. Send it to Southern University.
Send it to the Jaguar Foundation, ladies and gentlemen. They would love to help you help somebody else. Now that we've said that, we've had a fantastic Monday Night Raw. There's only one thing for us to do now, Reggie, and what's that?
Hang out.
We out this joint. We will see y'all on Saturday. Actually, y'all will probably hear us on Tuesday for the Atlanta.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We out here.
More content, more black creators.
Go to YouTube. We putting out more of these segments out. We put more of these segments out so you can listen to them segment by segment. Share, subscribe, share. I love that y'all telling everybody. I love it. We get a lot of texts, calls. I'm checking in. We appreciate y'all. Subscribe, share, retweet. Love y'all. Stay safe. Adios, mi amigos.
Adios, mi amigos. Until next time. Buenos noches. Au revoir.
I'm going to let you keep going. I'm not going to press stop.
Yeah.
Welcome to the camp.
Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate food from all of the bass. My ace boom going big son told me about the game. 20 years later, know my name. King, crown me, lounge in the back of the spot. Pay homage to an underground peasant, climb to the top. Funny style on elevators could never fade us. I peep data stain anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm Deion Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. Extra the cred with it. You either fight or flight, I ain't one for the ledge living. I do it for the one that died but fed millions. With soul food flowed and stocked my bad kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a play that they ain't illustrated. I make a move they gladly imitated. I ain't flattered, I'm a dragon to your paper castle. The Alpha and Omega, promise it ain't nothing after. A new beginning. My catalog like James Earl Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make beats that's more for killing. Imagine if you come from the south out my city. You probably wouldn't make it, oh yeah, really. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate.